Welcome to episode 7 of Kicking It with Caitlin with your host, me, Caitlin. Welcome. Big Dick is back. Big Dick is back. Oh my gosh. So, long time no see. It has been 3 weeks now, but for good reason. So, let me go ahead and explain that real quick. I have a plan. Was this part of the original plan? No. But is it part of the plan now? Yes. So you will just have to trust me. Here is a thought process. So originally what I had planned to do was to do 12 episodes of season 1. That was going to be audio only. Y'all know that before this Thursday, I've put out or at least tried to, because at one time I posted on Friday. But I have put out a new episode every other Thursday. So every 2 weeks, y'all would get a new episode. Well, with the way that was going, the season was going to end in January or February. I don't remember. But it was going to take a long time to end. And if you didn't know, I think I've said this before, but I want season 2 to be a vodcast. That's what I'm going to school for right now. I want my own talk show eventually. So, I want to be a video podcaster. And I just feel like February or the end of January is too far away for that. Like, I want to go ahead and start. As a matter of fact, I got my couch today and I'm sitting on it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's like a blue couch and I have a little togepi on here. Yeah, we're just like making ourselves at home. It's a really comfy setup. I actually really, really like it. But anyways, what I was saying is that there's going to be a new drop schedule. So episode 7, the one you're listening to now, will have come out on November the 2nd. And then I'll be posting the next one on the 9th, then the 16th. And then I think the 23rd is the next week, which is Thanksgiving. And I'm not going to post that week because y'all have family. I have family, I'm just going to give myself that week off. And then we'll pick back up on the 30th. And then in December, we'll start on the 7th and end on the 14th. So the 14th will be the last episode of this season and the last episode this year. So with that being said, I am going to be starting season 2 in the new year. What I have planned for that, aside from it being a vodcast, I will not share with you because, I want y'all to be excited for it, aside from the fact that, you're going to be able to see my face and I got some pretty good eyebrows. And a lot of my emotion comes through my face. So it's going to be fun. And I'm going to have guests on it. God damn it. I just said that I wasn't going to say anything about the new season. But yes, I'm going to have guests on there. It's going to be a good time. It is. I'm just so excited. It just didn't make sense for me to start it like halfway through the year. I just want to start it in the new year. When? I don't know. But it will be in the new year. So y'all are going to be, I'm not going to say blessed because I'm not religious, but I don't know a word that's equivalent. So I'm going to use blessed, I guess. Y'all are going to be blessed with me every week from here on out, aside from Thanksgiving. Okay. Yeah. Also, if you did know that I have a new drop schedule, thank you so much for following my Instagram because there's no other way that you would have known other than that than listening. So if you didn't see my new drop schedule, you can follow me on Instagram at Kicking It with Caitlin. If you are listening and you aren't following, where are you at? I posted the couch. Me and Chewy on the couch. My dad built it. I just stood here and watched him build it. It was an experience. But I really do like the couch. I got it from Walmart and it's really nice. And I put it on my credit card because I just wanted to go ahead and start building this freaking set. Moving on. So I wasn't going to make this a topic, but honestly, I want to talk about it. Y'all know that episode that I had titled, Why I'm Single. And the first reason was because I want to be. Well, yes, I am single because I want to be. That is true. But my favorite pastime is to be window shopping on Tinder. Oh my gosh. I love me some Tinder. Genuinely, I love to see who's in my area, who's single in my area. I just like to see. And honestly, if I were to have a boyfriend, I'm trying to get a boyfriend up north Austin, so that I can, sleep over at his house and then go to school and then come back from school and sleep again because I live far from North Austin. So he would be my boyfriend just for that. That's it. So I'm taking applications. You do still have to be hot. You don't get the option of not being hot because looks matter, okay? But yes, applications. Send them my way. Let me know if you're interested. Business inquiries, go ahead and email me. If not, you can just DM me on Instagram. Thank you. So I said this because while I was window shopping on Tinder, I matched with this guy and we ended up going on a date, right? So yes, I am single because I want to be, but that doesn't mean that I'm not open to seeing anyone or trying for a relationship. Because, once you say you want something, it just doesn't happen. Like if I were to sit here and say, oh, I want a boyfriend so badly, one would never come. That's just how it works. We all know that. I'm not going to mansplain that to you. Like, we know that. So, yes, I'm single because I want to be, but I'm also open to things. So, like I was saying, I met him on Tinder, and then we went over to Instagram, and he was like one of those guys who has less than 100 followers and doesn't follow a whole bunch of models or whatever. So, the ideal guy, right? Like, under the radar, doesn't ever post, and isn't following like everyone and their mom. That's a fucking gem, But also, they can go two different ways. So, you know what? I decided to take a chance. Unfortunately, actually, let's talk about the first date first. So, on the first date, he bought me flowers and a bear. Yeah, girl. Flowers. He bought me flowers and he bought me a bear. Back when I had broken up with my first boyfriend, I was like, I'm not ever going to date anyone unless they buy me flowers on the first date and they do this, this, and this. And it was some like ridiculously like absurd, requirements to date me that I was just expecting without saying. So him buying me flowers already gave him like a soft spot, gave me a soft spot for him because only one other person has done that for me, and that name we shall not speak of. But he fucked me over. Anyways, he be trying to hit me up still, but that's aside from the point. I just shut the fuck up. So this guy bought me flowers and a bear. So I was like, fuck, I'm ready on my knees for this man. We went to Top Golf and then we went to South Congress. And what did we do after that? Then we went to the mall and then we went to Cane's. Yes, I know, a marathon long date. My mom told me to stop doing that, and I really do need to stop doing that because I don't need to overexpose myself to somebody because then that leaves no room for imagination. I know I'm so bad about that, but I'm trying to get better. So we basically spent the whole date together, and neither one of us was shy, I would say. But like at the very beginning, you're like, hey, you want to go first? Whatever. Like, it's just really awkward at the beginning. And then it's fine. So we were just consistently having conversation after conversation after conversation. And at one point, I don't know what we were talking about or how we got here, but he called my boobs breast. Boobs. He called my boobs, my tiggle bitties, breast. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, did you just call my boobs breast? Like a chicken breast? And he was like, yeah. What's wrong with that? Isn't that respectful? And I was like, I just kind of looked at him funny. And then I pointed to my under region and I was like, what do you call that? And he was like, vagina. And I started laughing then. And then I pointed at his and I was like, what's that? And he was like, a penis. Oh my God. When I tell you I fucking lost it. Oh my God. Okay. No. Listen, do not ever describe body parts like that unless you're in healthcare or unless you're in a, I don't even know. I don't even know why else you would use that. Unless you're in healthcare, don't use those terms. Oh my gosh, it was so cringy. And like, I didn't know how to react because from that point, I was like, oh my gosh. But before I was like, this guy is amazing, whatever. And then he said that and I was like, what the fuck? It was just not cute. That was not cute in any which way. And then I don't, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. So, we were talking about shows, and I go to sleep to Adventure Time like every day. Well, I don't go to sleep to it, but I bought Hulu with no ads so that I can watch Adventure Time like in numerical order every day without ads, you know? So, every night before I go to sleep, I at least watch one episode of Adventure Time and then I go to sleep. Like it's not even like my comfort show. It's just like something easy to watch because you don't have to think too hard about it. Like it follows a 3-act structure in almost every episode. So that's great for like someone studying film like me. And it also gives me a whole bunch of ideas for scripts and they have pretty good comedy in it. Also, like it makes me want to draw and paint again. So that's nice as well. But I really like Adventure Time because it's easy on the brain. And why I brought this up, it's because he was like, Adventure Time is for kids. And I was so offended by that. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, Adventure Time is not for kids. Whatever. Like, I was just like, what the? It gave me the feeling of like he was better than me because I watch Adventure Time. Like, bruh, don't even. And then also another thing is that he was saying how he felt nasty and dirty and gross because he was on Tinder. And he deleted Tinder before we had our date, but I was like, y'all know how I feel about Tinder. I opened up with saying I love Tinder. I really do. Tinder is so fun. How could you not like it? And he was just like, Tinder's so gross or whatever. I can't believe I was on there, blah, blah, this, that. And I was just like sitting there like, bitch, we met on Tinder. Like, get over yourself. Fuck off, you know? End of date, whatever. Then we start texting, right? It was a really good date, aside from those things. And I overlooked him at the time. Like, I'm just whatever, you know? Some people have flaws. Not everyone can be perfect like me. So, him and I were constantly texting. Whenever I go to school, I am really bad at this, that during lectures, I will text people off my laptop and not pay attention. Yeah, I know. But if I'm doing that, I know majority of you guys are doing that. So I don't feel as bad about it. But I be texting people during the school day because that's what keeps me awake. And, you know, during the weekend, I have to work. So I can't be texting people. And also, I'm in a production class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's a production class. I don't have time to be on my phone. I am setting up cameras, setting up lights, cueing the actors, actresses, doing sound, directing, something. I'm always doing something, especially like if I'm on the board that day, I'm not paying attention to my phone. I am trying to show people what I've got because like it's also time to network. If you're good at something, someone's going to ask you to help them. So that's what I want to build a network. So I can't be on my phone in a production class. And he was just constantly texting me. And for the most part, I would answer. But like I've explained before in the Why Am I Single episode, I have my priorities go all over the place. And I was trying to put my foot down, being like, I have to do something, like, please leave me alone. I'll text you later. And he would just not leave me alone. Like, for instance, I'm in a script writing class and I really struggle with making something really creative, an idea of my own. I don't know. I just really do. Like, I am not the idea person. I'm the worker. I'm the person who gets that shit done, but I am not very good at creating ideas. I never have been. Even when I was in high school, like, I just was not a good idea person. So I really struggle with that part of film. And I would tell him, like, I'm working on my script. Like, I'll text you when I can. Almost like telling him bye. And like he would text me whenever I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. He'd be like, I miss you. Hello, I miss you. And I'm like, bruh, I literally just told you, like, I am busy. But I wouldn't answer because like that's rude to answer like that. But also at the same time, it was pissing me off that he was distracting me. So amongst all the texting and whatnot, he eventually told me that after the first date, he couldn't be spending money like that. But I was like, bruh, you picked everywhere where we went. I don't know what you mean you can't be spending money like that. you picked Top Golf. And then he wanted to take me to like a sit down restaurant. And I was like, no, we can just go to Cane's. Like, I didn't pick Cane's. He actually picked it. But I was like, I'm not really that hungry. Like, we can just go wherever, except for McDonald's. McDonald's has been fucking in my stomach recently. So I was like, we can just go wherever. We don't have to sit down anywhere. So he paid for Top Golf and he paid for Cane's. That's it. And homeboy was saying that he didn't have no money. Yeah, my eyebrows are up. I just feel like he was too comfortable. And I think that he was too comfortable with me because of my podcast. You know, what we're doing right now, like me talking into this microphone and sending it out to the internet to listen to and you listening to it, this is a very intimate thing. Like, I'm talking and you're listening and you're hearing a lot about me that I wouldn't regularly tell someone to their face. Like, normal people don't know this much about me and I don't share this much with normal people. So like, this is an intimate experience. And I told you like his Instagram didn't have much on it. He was basically like a recluse. So I didn't know much about him, and he listened to like a couple of my podcast episodes and he can see my Instagram. And for the most part, like, I put everything that I do out on there. Like, my Instagram is also my portfolio. Like, stuff that I do goes out into the wild, to the open, to the internet to see. Because I feel like in the realm that I'm in, if you don't look fun or if you don't have experience and you're not showing it in any way, or if you don't know how to manage social media, you're not going to get a gig. So yes, it is my personal Instagram and then I have my podcast Instagram, but it's still part of a portfolio that I'm building. So me being mysterious is way out of the picture. And I guess I feel like me saying he took advantage of it sounds wrong, but like, he asked me like, can I listen to your podcast? And this is the first time that I've talked to someone who was able to view my podcast or listen to my podcast. Like, this is like a first time. So I was like, like, yeah, sure, why not? But at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about it because, I'd be saying stuff that, I'm not scared or upset that I said certain things on here, but I feel like, I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like, I'm not even going to finish that. What I'm trying to say is that I felt like he knew too much about me and I didn't know enough. Like, him listening to my podcast robbed me of conversations that we could have had together, and he just listened to it. Like, you can learn so much about me from my podcast alone, because like, this is like hours of me just talking by myself and just saying things that I want to say without being interrupted. So like, I don't know. So I guess that's kind of why he felt like comfortable with telling me that he couldn't spend money like the first day on every time he sees me. But I was also like, bruh, why are you having this conversation with me and we haven't even gone on a second date? We're not dating. And then also, like, I don't know you like that. Like, it was just weird. And that, for other people, that could definitely be a turnoff. And, I don't mind if they have money or not. Bro, I just lied. It does matter. You do have to have money because I have money, so you have to have money. But I was just like, man, this guy is way too comfortable, right? But again, I'm saying, like, I think it's because he listened to my podcast. So on the second date, I was kind of already feeling iffy about him. And I kind of talked to my mom about it. And she was like, at some point, you're going to have to settle for certain flaws in people. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't even know why I told her that because I'm only 22. What do you mean? I don't have to settle for shit. So on our second date, I drove. And honestly, I do not like the fact that I drove because I had anticipated for him to drive. I will say that he drove an hour and a half to come see me. And then he was already saying that he was going to drive. And I told him maybe I would drive. And basically when he got here, he was like, okay, let's get in your car. And I was like, excuse me? Like, first of all, don't tell me what to do. And second of all, I thought you were going to drive. So it was just not good all the way around. And so he got in my car, right? But before he got in my car, okay, don't invite people over to your house. Like literally just don't do it. Not unless you've known them for a while, and I really don't like telling people where I live because I don't want to walk on eggshells because they know where I live and I'm scared of what people are capable of. But oh my gosh, I should not invite him to, the plan was for him to pick me up and we were going to go over there together. And I told him that I would maybe drive us, if I felt like it. So I told my dad like he was going to come pick me up, right? And my dad was looking out the window and he started making fun of him so freaking quick. Like, homeboy came out of his car and his Nike socks were pulled all the way up and he had shorts on. Okay, he's not from here, he's from California. Also, at the same time, it was like, bruh, like, how you gonna walk out of the car with your socks all the way up? Like, it was not cute. Not cute at all. So, we were in my car because he wanted me to drive. Not because I wanted to drive, because he wanted me to drive. I did not like that. And I guess he forgot something in his car. I was like sitting there on my phone, queuing up songs, and he was in my car next to me. And then he said, "Oh, I forgot something in my car, right?" So then he gets up and opens the door and goes to walk out, right? Again, I wasn't looking, but I'm pretty sure his shorts fell underneath his butt and he went, "Oh," and pulled them up really quickly. And he thought I didn't see, but I definitely did see in my peripherals. Oh my gosh. That totally set the tone for the day. Like, bruh. I saw homeboy's underwear and scrawny ass booty. Like, that's just so not attractive. Like, I feel like that's the equivalent of going on a date and having a booger in your nose the whole time. Like, it was just not attractive, and it was just not attractive in any which way. And honestly, there was no coming back from that. Like, I should have just said, "Okay, I've had enough for today," and went back inside. Oh my gosh, okay. So in my car, I have an air freshener and it's Ditto from Pokemon. And he was like, "Oh, who is this? Dildo?" And he was like 100% like he really thought that's what Ditto's name was. And I started laughing and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "It's Ditto." Like, I got so salty. Like, cause I thought he was making a joke, but I was like, "Bruh, are you fucking stupid? Like, you know what a dildo is. Why are you saying dildo for a kid's show?" Like, Pokemon is, relatively a kid's show. I mean, Adventure Time is too. But, like, just think about it. There's no way in hell, even if they wanted to name it that, they would name Ditto Dildo. Like, it just is not going to happen. And then, like, my AirPod case was in the glove box, and he wanted to put his sunglasses or keys in there. And he pulled out my AirPod case, and he was like, "This is Boba Fett, right?" And I was like, "Bruh, that is Bulbasaur. What are you even on? Like, you're calling me a kid and me lame because I watch Adventure Time, but you don't even know the difference between Star Wars and Pokemon? Like, bro, what do you watch? What rock do you live under?" I'm heated. So, look, this is why I don't be trying to do stuff, because someone always gives me the ick, and it ruins it for everyone. And also, I've talked about this before. Once I get a ick, a single ick, it's just downhill from there. And it's self-sabotage. I know. It's just, I will not settle. I want the best. So I guess this is just like me, you know, mentally, but not aware. Not mentally aware that I'm doing this, but I'm sabotaging, the relationships that I can have with people because of icks that they give me. So on the date, I'm just looking at my notes. It says I drove, and this is undies. On the date, we went on a tour. We went on a tour on the lake in downtown Austin, and it was a great tour. I am a tour guide at Austin City Limits, so I know how it feels to be someone talking when people don't listen. I didn't even know what the tour was going to be about. Like, he picked it and he wanted to go on it, right? I think he thought it was just going to be like a boat ride kind of thing, but it was like a tour of Austin from the lake. So basically, the tour guide was just telling us some of Austin's history, and respectfully, like, I'm listening to them, like, but I'm also coming from like another tour guide's like side. So I'm just being my ideal, customer. And he starts talking. No, back up. Back up. Sorry. Okay. So we got there 30 minutes early because that's what it said to get there. And we went to check in, and motherfucker would not check in. Like, he wanted me to take the initiative to check in. No, I am the wrong person to do that with. I am a bottom. I need a top. So he was very much giving bottom energy, and it was pissing me off. I was like, are you going to go check in, or are we just going to stand here? And basically they told us, like, there's no one here. Like, it's going to be a moment. So we went on a walk, and then we came back, and they let us on the boat this time, and I sat near like the window portion side of the boat, and he sat next to me, but he didn't even sit next to me. He sat like on top of me. If you know me, you know I do not like to be touched. I don't like being grazed by anything. I don't like barely being tapped by someone. Do not touch me. Even with Emily. I think me and Emily have probably hugged like 9 times in our whole friendship, and a lot of them have just been recently. I don't like being touched. Like, if you are going to kiss me, or if you're going to hold my hand, or if you're going to hug me, you need to be doing it with confidence and in one swift motion, because if you graze my hand, I'll pull that shit back. So basically, he sat like on the seat next to me, and he kept putting his leg like next to mine, and I kept moving it away. Next to mine, kept moving it away. Kept moving it away. Like, I did not want to be touched, and he just wasn't getting it. It didn't help that it was hot outside either, and that was pissing me off more, because like, why the fuck is it like 90 degrees outside and you're trying to be on top of me, making us both sweat? Like, get the fuck off me. Ugh. Ugh. And another thing is that before the tour started, he was like, oh, I forgot my chapstick. Do you have any chapstick? And I was like, yeah, I have chapstick, whatever. Because I'm going to apply chapstick at some point within the date. It doesn't matter if I was on a date or not. Like, I'm going to apply chapstick just like any regular person. So I wasn't going to pull it out and then lie to him, So I was like, here you go. Yeah, I have chapstick. And he put the chapstick on, and it was like all above his lip, his top lip, and below his bottom lip. And I was like, bruh, like, I didn't say this out loud, but I was like, bro, you're using a lot of my chapstick for you to be like borrowing it or like taking some of someone else's. And he asked for it probably like 10 times within the same day. I was like, motherfucker, how are your lips so chapped? Also, why are you not, scared to be asking for my chapstick? Like, he was just too comfortable, and that pissed me off. So back to the tour. We're just, going down the river and whatnot. And he started talking over the tour guide. And I let him do it like maybe twice. But then I finally told him, like, I was like, respectfully, like, I don't remember what I said exactly, but I was basically telling him that we need to be respectful and listen to him. And I just like kind of told him, like, I don't want to talk right now. I'm trying to listen to the tour. And I know that my face tells all my emotions. So I know that he was, understanding that I was getting aggravated, but that's not like, that's just rude. Like, it's rude to the tour guide, and it's rude to the other people, because it's like, why are you talking over someone who is being paid to be our tour guide, Like, him giving the tour is what people are here for. Like, we are not the only people here. Another thing that bothered me is that he knew that I was a tour guide, and he didn't bring a tip for our tour guide. The week before, I had gotten like a very generous tip of $40 from 4 people. So I gave this guy $20 because I didn't know if anyone else had a tip for him, and he did a really good job. And I did learn quite a bit about Austin, even though I've lived here for a very long time. Like, I learned a lot. after I told that guy to shut up. But I was just like, how could you, want to be with me and be expecting other people to tip me, but you won't tip other people? Like, that just doesn't make sense. That was another ick. And something that I had noticed whenever, we were talking, like, he thought it would be like silly, cute, and funny. Whenever he said something stupid and I like said something about it, he'd be like, it's because I'm a soldier. It's because I'm a soldier. And it's just like super cringe. And I was just not having it. And we were sitting, to eat. I don't know how the conversation sparked, but he was basically telling me all this stuff that he has to do as someone who's in the army. And like, he basically wanted me to feel bad for him, is what I felt like. And I'm the wrong, okay, right idea, wrong person. I am part of a military family. My dad has served for many, many, many years. He's actually retired from the military, and he retired as an E7 for a sergeant major. And my dad has been deployed many times, and I have given time with my dad. I feel like I've gotten time stolen by the military with my dad because of his job. Like, he worked in special ops, so he had to do certain things at certain times because they're time sensitive things. So a lot of my childhood, my dad was deployed, and most times whenever I think about crucial, memories, my dad's not in them because he was deployed. So although my dad was there majority of the time, he wasn't there all the time. And for the most part, I just remember like me, my mom, and my brother. Like, I have seen my mom go through deployment by herself with 2 kids, and I've seen PTSD of being in the military. We still live with it today, and this guy like just got in the military. He still has 4 years to serve, and he's going to be deployed in May, and he wanted me to feel bad for him. Like, bruh, no. So I was like, you chose to be in the military. I don't feel bad for you at all. And he like kind of wasn't expecting me to say that. But then I just kept going. I was like, bro, you don't even have a bad life. Like, the only difference between you and people in summer camp is that you're somewhere where you don't live. Like, he's from California and you're in Texas. Like, you have a place to live. You have a set schedule. And someone makes you food for every meal of the day. Like, you are literally in summer camp. And he got upset because of what I said. And like, yeah, it was like rude, but also at the same time, like, I wasn't going to give him sympathy because I had none to give to him. So he was like low-key offended by it, but he was still being really nice because I could tell that I know he still likes me. And I'm just like bashing him. And I'm sorry if this is rude, but this is just how I feel. So he just tried to make it seem like his life was hard because he was in the military. And I was just telling him, I remember how this got brought up. I was telling him that I can't text him all the time. And he wanted me to be like grateful of the fact that he could text me all the time because he's actually a really busy person, because he's only a E3 and he works on vehicles and he's very busy. So I need to appreciate the time that he is texting me with. No, that's not word for word what he said, but it's kind of what he said. But I was like, bruh, like, you chose that. Ugh. So I'm just going to leave it off there for that second date. After that date, I went home. No. Oh my gosh, I left this part out. This is just like a big rant. I'm so sorry. But, we're all friends. We're like kicking around the campfire. Like, we're all just, I'm going to listen to you tell your date stories next. But, I got to get through mine first. So, how do I word this? This was not in my notes. I forgot. This is what really, I repressed the thought of this. This is what really, put the cherry on top. So we were at my house, right? And I told him, like, you can come inside, but I really have to work on, fairy wings for a fairy costume that I had to be for Halloween. And My dog, Chewy, is so cute. Everyone loves my dog, I'm aware. And he's just so fluffy. And I know you just want to smother him like I do every day. But also, you have to draw a line because it's a stranger's dog. So he came inside, and I knew he was going to like Chewy because he had already said that my dog was cute. And he has dogs similar to that at home. Well, we were sitting, in the studio. I was tracing the wings, and I wasn't really paying attention to him. And I could feel like him being upset that I wasn't paying attention to him. But I told him like I had stuff to do. Like I was probably going to put him to work had I not been, not paying attention to him. And I'm sitting there and I'm focused, and then I hear a whole bunch of kissing. And homeboy is like just kissing and kissing and kissing my dog. And I was like grossed the fuck out by that. Like he just kept kissing Chewy. And I was like, bro, why do you keep fucking kissing Chewy? Like, stop kissing my fucking dog. Like, that's my dog. Quit kissing him. You're a grown ass man, like on my dog. That is so it's making my skin crawl now. Ugh. Oh my gosh. That was so gross. Like, I was so embarrassed for him. And I hate, and I mean fucking hate, people who are not self-aware. And I felt like he was not self-aware. Like, I was just like, ugh. And another thing is that I had a quince to go to after that. And I had already told him, like, I invited him to the quince, but I was like, it's probably not a good idea. And I'm really glad that I said it wasn't a good idea because he didn't have clothes to wear and I didn't want him to show up all cringe. And he really pissed me off that second date. And I had invited him on the first date because he was such a freaking good first date. But then the second date just like went to shit. And the week in between the first and the second date went to shit. So I was like, I have to go to this quince. So I was like kicking him out and he didn't want to leave, bruh. So it was just a mess. And then the next day after the quince, I shouldn't be telling Emily's business like this, but Emily got in a car wreck and, that's my best friend. So, of course, like, that morning was a nervous wreck. And I told him, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to text you today because my friend Emily, my best friend Emily, got in a car wreck. So I'm going to be busy. Basically telling him, like, fuck off, And the second that I sent that text message, he literally texted me back asking me, like, what happened? Am I okay? Is she okay? Like, what can he do to help? And although it was, like, with great, nice intentions, that shit pissed me the fuck off. I literally just told you, do not talk to me because I'll be busy and I'll text you when I'm ready. And he, like, kept texting me. And I ignored him because I was on my way to the hospital. I didn't know where Emily was at. I didn't know if she was okay. Like, all I knew was that she was in a wreck and I was trying to be wherever she needed me to be without being told. So I was being a detective, really trying to find her. But also, like, homeboy was trying to text me and I'm like, bro, I literally just told you where I'm going to be and what I'm doing. Like, leave me alone. Like, what? You are not going to be part of today's plan. You're not in this episode, basically. And he, like, just wanted to be in the episode so badly. So I ended up getting to the hospital and I'm in the waiting room waiting to see Emily. And he calls me and I sent him the voicemail so fast. And when I tell you I was pissed, I was fucking pissed. I texted him so quick. Let me see what I said to him specifically. So I sent him a voicemail and I literally told him, I'm at the hospital. Why are you calling me? And he was like, wanted to make sure everything is okay with you and your friend. I'll stop bothering. Oh my gosh, and I was so over dramatic. I said, I will text you when I can. I don't need you calling me when I'm dealing with my friend almost dying. Emily did not almost die. Emily was fine. She just had some stitches in her hand, but that's not the point. The point was that I told you that my friend is in the hospital, my best friend is in the hospital, and that I was dealing with that. What makes you think that someone who I've only been on 2 dates with, why would you think that you were important enough to bother me in the middle of me dealing with my best friend? Like, I didn't even tell him what was wrong with her, so why would he think that he was going to play any part in this? Yeah, so I ended up telling him the next day that I didn't have time for him because I didn't know how to approach it because he knew where I lived. He kept telling me that he didn't want me to break his heart, this, that, whatever. So I, for the sake of him and his well-being, I didn't know how to tell him, like, fuck off. but also like he knew where I live, so I had to do it nicely. And I was just trying to be a good person because he had treated me very well. He was a very nice person. He still is a very nice person, and he deserves the best, but not with me because I was not going to deal with that shit. And I told him like I didn't have time for him and that this wasn't going to work. And he hit me with like, I was going to say that, but I didn't know how to say it. Shut the fuck up, bruh. You were literally on my dick like this whole last week saying that you damn near love me. Like, bitch, whatever. Like, either he was trying to play it cool or I completely, upset him and he's just being nice. Either way, that was just a train wreck. So, yeah. Yes, I'm still window shopping on Tinder, but I will not be dating for a while. I mean, like, I always do this. I'll go on a date and then they totally ruin it for the rest of y'all. So, yeah. So originally that wasn't in today's that wasn't in today's pod plan. But I already told it. As of right now, I am watching some documentaries. Um right now I'm watching the Chernobyl. I think that's how you pronounce it. Chernobyl. That's not Chernobyl. Documentary, I believe. Well, I'm watching it on Apple TV because I bought it only because Brittany Broski said that she watched it. And we also started watching a docu in my script writing class about these like weird yoga people. I don't know, but I'm like watching documentaries because I want to be woke. I am on a journey to be woke. So, and I'm also, oh my gosh, and I am also listening to a new podcast. Let me see, what is it called? It's called American History Tellers, and they basically like dumb down history in a narrative but informative like podcast. Oh, fuck, I can't talk. They are a podcast who does like a narrative, but also like an informal, not informal, an informational like podcast about things that happen within US's history. And I am really digging it. Like some episodes I don't really care about. Like there was one like that they talked about the space race. I don't really want to hear about that, but I listened to the whole series about the Cold War because I really, we learn about the Cold War when we're in school, but I really never understood it. But with the way that they have described it, I understand now and I get it. If you are interested in certain parts of history, they do label every title. They do label every episode what the series is about. Like, there's one about the Salem witch trials that I'm going to listen to next, but it looks like it's a multiple, like, episode series, and they're not in seasons. Like, they're just consistently posting episodes, and I'm just, like, on a journey to be woke. Because, like, why am I just going to sit here and, like, multiple hours worth of traffic in my week and just listen to the same songs over and over again? Like, I'm not a big music junkie, so I'm trying to listen to more and more podcasts and more informative podcasts because I really love the Broski Report, but I've been trying to listen to other people's podcasts, like other TikTokers, because I think they're cutesy and funny. But honestly, I just do not like their studio setup. I don't like the way that they're executing their podcast, and I am so glad that I went to school to learn how to do this because whenever I hear someone on like a Zoom podcast, I am out. If the audio isn't good, I'm not listening. I'm so sorry. And what's really funny is that one of my friends that also works with me, he was telling me that he listened to one of my podcast episodes and he was like, "You sound so professional." And I was just like, "Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Did you like the episode?" And he was like, "Yeah, I really did. It was just so professional, And I didn't correct him or anything, but I was like, "Bruh, like I am a professional. I do this for a living. Like, no, I don't get paid for my podcast, but I get paid to do this kind of work for people. So I am a professional," but I wasn't going to tell him that to his face right then and there. So, like, not saying that not everyone can do this, but there's only a certain level that you can get to without getting help. And I'm just like very thankful that I have went through the right steps in order to create a professional level podcast, because I am a professional. And I really hope that my audio is good enough for you to listen to in your car, because honestly, listening in your car will either make or break a podcast. Like in my car, if someone isn't mixed at negative 12 dB, I won't listen to it, because like it just doesn't make sense. Or if they talk really quiet like this, and I'm not even talking about, if they talk really quiet like this the whole time and then they automatically like go like super loud, no, that will give me a headache. So I try to stay at the same volume without being monotone, but sometimes it's kind of hard. But I feel like I did a good job telling that guy's story, even though I was pressed the whole time. And I'm sure you could tell by the tone of my voice, but yeah, I'm a professional is what I'm saying. The club scene. Also, happy belated Halloween. So sorry. Um, I, I had written this out before Halloween, so I'm just gonna try to forget about Halloween and think about the last time I went to the club. The club. What the fuck is up with the club scene right now? Okay. I simply do not understand. Why? Just so many whys. Okay. It doesn't matter where I go out to. Who thinks this music that they're playing recently is good? Like who? Because it doesn't matter if I go to Austin, San Marcos, San Antonio. It doesn't matter. The music fucking sucks the majority of the time. Who is telling these DJs that this is a good mix? Who is telling these people to play the same fucking song every Thursday, every playlist, like the same song every Thursday? Or who is telling them that they can play a throwback that's not, a banger? Because I would like to point out that a lot of DJs are not playing new music. And that's fine, because new music for the most part fucking sucks. But they're not playing the good throwbacks. Like, every club wants the women to dance, right? But then you're not playing any dancing music. So I can't dance to Drake. I can scream shout the words to Drake, and get into character like I'm a thug. But for the most part, Drake is not dancing music. Like, y'all need to play some more dancing music if y'all want to see some more ass throwing, or if y'all want to see some more body rolling. And honestly, I think grinding and body rolling is a lot more attractive than ass throwing, but that's just me. If I want to be, what I've noticed recently is that if I want to be able to dance and I want all my friends to dance and all the women to dance at the clubs, I just got to be a DJ. Because for me, if the music ain't good, it's not worth going out. And as of recently, I have not been going out because there's no reason to. Because why the fuck am I going to stand there awkwardly and just listen to the shit-ass music and this shitty-ass mix? Like, if you're a DJ, I hope you take offense to this, because it's just not been working. It definitely hasn't. Something needs to happen with the club scene and the music, because it's just not it. It is just not it. It is getting tired and boring, and it's becoming not worth it to go out. Another thing is, no one knows the dress code. Like, are we doing heels? Are we doing no heels? Shorts or pants? Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Okay, so something that kind of bothers me about the club is that at the club, I do not think that jean shorts should be allowed. I think that jean shorts can be allowed at bars, but not at the club. Jean shorts are they're not meant for the club. And I see a lot of people wearing jean shorts, and it just doesn't make any outfit. Like, it makes for cutie outfits, but the club is like supposed to be a fun, sexy place. And honestly, as of recently, it has not been. And I think it's because of the way people are dressing and that the music sucks. I think if the music was good, people would actually care to go out. So let's just go ahead and start with the music there first. Um, yeah, and also, you know what? Fuck it. It is the music. The club scene sucks right now because the music solely. Because if it was good music, then people would want to dress up, dress cute, dress sexy. Like there would be wearing heels, tight dresses, makeup would be to the tens, hair would be done. But right now, there's people showing up in sandals with a slick back bun, with their jean shorts on and a tube top. That is not club attire. Okay, clubs need to start turning away girls as well. Because why are there some women? I think this is only in San Marcos. There's some women that show up in San Marcos in slides, socks, and sweatpants. No. No. Like, there's just. Ugh. It just aggravates me. Like, sometimes I don't look the best, but I never would dress like that to the club. Never, 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 never. And when I was 18 going to 6th Street in Austin, I would always wear super high heels, something something super short and like sexy, and do like my makeup and my hair. And like that was like prime club days. Like now that I am old enough to get into the club and go to bars, like no one dresses like that. And I think that's just so weird. Also, what the fuck is a well? What is a well? Because I thought a well was the size of a drink, but apparently it's not. And I'm just so confused. What is a well? And also, why are there no prices on the drinks? And why are there no menus? Why are there no menus? Like, if you own a club or a bar, why are there no menus and why do they not tell you what's in them? Like, I'm not going to order a Bahama Mama without knowing how much it is or what kind of liquor you're going to put in there. Like, what? That's why everyone always gets like a vodka cran or a whiskey sour, because no one knows anything else. No one knows anything else. Like, and that's why the drinks suck. Because no one is experimenting and there's no prices on drinks. No one knows what a well is, and that's why everyone's just taking shots and drinking terrible drinks. Like we need to start a revolution with the club scene. We need to all start taking a whole bunch of ecstasy at the club. They need to start playing better music. There need to be prices on the drinks along with what liquor and what syrups are in the drinks and names of cool drinks. That, we need to stand up against the club scene right now because it's fucking shit right now. It is shit. Why are so many of us staying inside? This is why. And you know what? We'll just fucking start with the music. Fire all the DJs right now. All of them. Y'all could just play a playlist on my Spotify and it will be 10 times better. Thank you. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but this Halloween, I was not having it. I don't know. The past couple Halloweens, I just haven't been Halloweening. I don't know. Maybe it's because I cosplayed before and I don't feel like Halloween is like that fun. But this Halloween, I let Emily pick our costumes and we both hated it. We were fairies. Yeah. It did not suit us very well. Don't get me wrong. We look beautiful. But we could have looked way better in something else. So Emily is banned from picking costumes. But I do just want to talk about Halloween. So Halloween night, nobody like came to our door. Just like many other people in the US, like no one trick-or-treated. And I think it's because of those trunk or treats, which I know are safer and it's easier for the parents, but we bought candy. And now I have candy to eat. But this is an idea. Just take it to your office or wherever you work and everyone will love you. Just an idea though. But so first I was Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I didn't anticipate to dress up because I shouldn't have even gone out on Friday. But you know what? I'm glad I did because I saw somebody that I had blocked, and I honestly was excited to see them. I didn't do anything. And I just went to the club, and Emily got drunk, and so did the other person they were with. They got very drunk as well, and I was driving, so of course I couldn't do anything. And then the next day was Emily's Halloween party, and that's when me and Emily were fairies. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I had to work on Saturday. I worked all day, and I was out the night before, and we stayed up like until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I went to work, and yes, I was late to work, but I still went to work. And then I made food for Emily's Halloween party, and I dressed up, and I hated the costume. I hated the way I looked. Like, I did not like any bit of it. I didn't even want to go, and I already made food for it. So I was being very antisocial, and honestly, I'm not very friendly. I really am not. I'm not friendly. It's not just one person. I'm just not friendly to everyone. So I was at her Halloween party with, all of her friends. She's like really my only friend, I would say. That's so lame. I know. But, well, she's not my only friend, but she was like my only friend there. And I was just like, I'm not trying to make new friends. And I don't really want to be friends with Emily's friends. So I just kind of like sat there by myself on my phone on the couch, and I fell asleep. Yeah. And then for Halloween, you want to know what I was? Fucked. Oh, yup. Yup. Mm-hmm. And that's the person who I had blocked. And I only blocked them on Snapchat and Instagram because honestly, they piss me the fuck off. And I love to block people. Like, I love blocking people because why am I going to be upset on my phone? Like, he wasn't answering me, and I kept seeing him post, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. So I'm going to block you. I blocked him on Instagram and Snapchat because his TikToks occasionally will go viral, and he's very good looking. So I like to see that. And then I never block people's phone number. Like, I'll mute you, but I won't block you. And so I hadn't unblocked him until I went over to his house. And I was like, I'm going to unblock you, but don't piss me off because I'll block you again. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So those were my 3 costumes. Um, Emily is banned from picking the costumes. But my favorite costumes that I saw whenever I went out, okay, no one was Barbie. Like, no one was Barbie. I don't understand. I'm just going to talk about my favorite costumes in general. So, first and foremost, I really loved Emily's cat costume on Friday whenever we went out. She looked very sexy. I would smash. No homo. Um I just don't swing that way. But Emily looked fucking great. Um Halloween Day, Anicia and Tori went as Shaggy and Velma, and they ate. And then also on Halloween Day, Casey went out as, I think, a space woman, space girl. She ate. She looked so good. Let me think. What else looked really good? Also, whenever I went out, a lot of people weren't even dressed up for Halloween. I don't understand that. Um, on, social media, what always hits are, I really, really do like whenever people dress up as pirates. I think that is always a good look. That's always like a safe look as well. Oh my gosh. At the Mark, all the bartenders were dressed up as Ice Spice on Friday. I really liked that. I thought that that was really cute. I thought it was funny. um, oh my gosh. Speaking of Halloween costumes, I want to be Nurse Joy so badly. So badly. So if someone wants to pretend to be my boyfriend for the night on Halloween, you must be a 10 out of 10 and be willing to dress up as Brock from Pokemon. I really want to be them. I really want to be Nurse Joy and Brock so badly. So, so badly. Taking applications, but not if you're ugly. If you're ugly, I'm not taking applications. That just is not going to work out. You know who also ate on Halloween? My friend Andres. He made his own Spider-Man costume, and that shit was fire. Like, he ate. He honestly ate. I was like, bro, you made that yourself? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, bruh, you need to post that shit on Pinterest. Like, that's how good it was. It was so good. You know what? You can never go wrong with the Freddy Krueger girl look. Oh my gosh, everyone always looks so cute, so sexy in that. So if you're a woman and you don't have a costume, just go as Freddy Krueger. I am so upset at myself because I should have just went as something so like regular, like a witch. Oh my gosh, a witch is so easy. Like, you just need a witch's hat, and you could be like a feather witch, like a feather witch. I just made that shit up. But you could be a witch with like a boa around your top part of the dress, and then you could wear long black gloves and put a boa around um the holes of your gloves. And then, like, with your witch's hat, you could put a little boa around the rim of it. Like, that is just so cute. And then you could put a little puff at the bottom of your heels and wear, like, witch-like stockings. Oh, my God. That's so cute, so sexy. Like, I don't know. Literally, I failed Halloween this year. Fail. Super fail. And another one that I think that, okay, next year I'm just going to have to be so good at Halloween that I'm going to put this year to shame. I wanted to be a clown on Friday, but I didn't have any clown-like stuff. Like, I want to be like a gothic clown, like a clown where I paint my whole face white and then do some crazy makeup. Like, I want to go hard as fuck for Halloween and do something like that. I saw this, not a tweet. I saw this TikTok, and it was like, I can't pick a funny Halloween costume because I'm funny all year round. I want one day to be sexy. And you know what? I kind of felt that. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Another costume that I found on Pinterest was to be a piñata. Oh my gosh, that costume is so cute. Basically, what they did is that they found a dress, a cheapo little dress, and then they got tissue paper. And what they did was just cut up a whole bunch of tissue paper and hot glued the paper to a dress, and then made themselves like a little party hat with the same tissue paper in that same pattern. And that shit looks so cute. Also, can I please see more Lilo and Stitches for Halloween? Lilo is like such a badass costume. And I am like kicking myself so hard. Okay, I did not go to Spirit this year, and I probably would have had this idea had I gone. But my favorite movie right now is Top Gun Maverick. I should have dressed up as someone from Top Gun. Literally would have ate. Yeah, I failed Halloween this year, and Emily's banned from picking the costumes, period. Okay, so I actually think that that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening all the way through. Again, I am going to be posting every week from here on out, so y'all will be hearing a lot more from me. And in regards to next episode, I do want you guys to participate, so I'm going to post a Q&A section on the Spotify post. The question is going to be dating hot takes. You can also tell me your icks as well. If you don't want to post on Spotify, I will also put a poll up on my Instagram. And then if you don't feel comfortable answering, with your name on it, you can always go to my Linktree and go to the anonymous questions, and you can answer questions there. I know what you'll be talking about because I can see when people enter these, or if you even have any comments or questions about the podcast, you can always go there as well. But yeah, tell me your dating hot takes. I'll probably post a poll maybe twice, so just let me know, and I am definitely going to be reading everything that I get entered because I think that's going to be fun. Like, the more you can participate, I'm sure the more fun it's going to be for the both of us. Maybe I'll agree, maybe I won't. So go ahead and answer the question. If not, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. There'll be other opportunities. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. Remember, next episode is going to come out on Thursday of next week. So yeah, don't forget to follow the podcast Instagram, Kicking It with Caitlin. And then if you like me so much, you can follow my personal Instagram at waifu Caitlin. And that's going to do it for today. So I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.